Is my GF cheating on me, or am I being unreasonable/crazy? My GF and I have been going out since college, around 4.5 years now. She is a wonderful girl, very smart and attractive. I would like to think that I am the same and that we are fairly matched. We have been on many holidays and have shared many beautiful relationship moments as well as some hardships. We lived together for a year and a half before I asked her to move out, as things were moving incredibly quickly and I was frightened, as this was my first relationship and I kept thinking about the possibility of only having one partner my entire life from the age of 21. We temporarily broke up around this time, which was instigated by me. I do regret it. I was very confused at the time and I did not know what I wanted. We kept seeing each other exclusively while things were worked out between us and we decided what we wanted from each other. It was during this time that I found a condom amongst her belongings and I confronted her, as I never wore protection. She was on the pill. She swore she never cheated/slept with somebody else and justified the condom which was there just in case, or if a friend needed one. That is completely fine by me and I understood, but I felt it was very sketchy and I was upset at the time, considering we were sleeping together and she was over a lot. However, it did plant seeds of doubt in my mind which I could not control. Not long after, we got back together and things have been great since. She lives in Dublin and I am in another county across the country. She does go out regularly but also works a demanding job. I come to visit her in Dublin regularly, but we rarely get to have sex as she lives with her parents, unless we rent a hotel room in Dublin. Last night, she rang me at 1 a.m. I am always happy to call or answer the phone to her, as she lives around Talbot Street and it is a very dangerous area with people being hostile, at least in recent days. She proceeded to tell me out of honesty that she had shifted/kissed with Town two of her friends who I do not know at all. She said that is okay because we are all in relationships and they are my friends. She also mentioned that there was another guy there trying to get in on the action but they all declined, or so she says. She keeps saying, girls kiss each other all the time on nights out, it is nothing. I am not speaking to her today. Am I being unreasonable? My definition of cheating is anything more than even kissing another person, straight, gay, lesbian, male, female, trans or anyone. This is even assuming she is telling the full truth, but it seems to be that she thinks this behavior is acceptable, which means she may have done it in the past and is openly willing to do it again. I am angry because in the 4.5 years, I have never ever cheated on her, as much as even flirted with another girl. Does this qualify as cheating? Am I being unreasonable? Comment. Yes, this is cheating. That she's seeking a physical, sexual, or emotional connection with others, to the exclusion of you and your relationship, is a betrayal. You can continue to talk to her, but you have to face the fact that your trust in her is damaged. And now that you're essentially in a long-distance relationship, with little sex, you know that your mind is going to work overtime. She just doesn't see cheating the way you do. Or as most people do. At the very least, you now need to discuss boundaries with her. Boundaries need consequences, but perhaps just the fact that you don't break boundaries without repercussions. You both also need to face the reality of your future together. When will your living situation change? How will you be together? Can she continue with little physical contact? Can you continue to trust her? She's betrayed you and you need to know if this is all that she's done. However, you both need to talk whether this relationship has a future. Long-distance relationships are highly fragile to begin with. It seems too difficult for many people to maintain a life of integrity, and I would include your girlfriend in that category. She's not ready for a committed relationship, as her actions fully display. Plus, you really don't know what, or who, truly went down yesterday or last month. That may be as secure as it gets long distance with her, unfortunately. If you are heartbroken, then your relationship has been played out. You will probably never trust her again, and this will haunt your days and nights. The next step is up to you. it's cheating, but without intent kind of thing. She doesn't see it like that, and honestly, many women don't. It's a conversation. I will say that you need to shit or get off the pot. You almost lost her with the move out and break up bullshit a few years ago. If you two don't have some sort of plan to actually physically be together all the time, she will call it quits at some point. You're mid-20s, so I would figure it out soon. She says she stopped it before it went too far, but the fact she called to tell you about it is her way of saying if we're going to be together we need to be together. It's at that point, you either have to live together or it's not going to work. After that whole moving out and breaking up thing, it's the second time you're living apart and not making any plans to move in, get married, or any of that. You weren't ready last time, so it's on you to let her know you're ready and if you're not, to break up. Next story 2. Have you ever cheated on a partner and regretted it so much that you would never do it again? Hi everyone. I recently got out of a year-long relationship after finding out he was cheating on me. He wasn't cheating on me physically, but I fully believe he had the intent to do it. We started dating in August of last year, and I found out that he was using dating apps behind my back about 3 months into our relationship. We were going through a rough patch and he said he wanted to break up anyways. We talked it through and worked it out, and he hadn't touched a dating app since. Recently, we have been going through another bit of a rough patch, and during one of our arguments, he said that he thought that we should break up. I was so tired that I just said okay and went home. After doing some snooping, I saw that he had downloaded Tinder the very next day. On top of that, I found out that he had been messaging a girl through Reddit a few days before we broke up. They only sent about 6 or 7 messages total back and forth, but it still hurt me incredibly so. The girl made a post about being new to the area and looking for a slow friendship that would grow into something more sexual. He sent her a message just asking about her, but he stopped messaging her completely when she mentioned anything somewhat sexual about 6 messages in. When I asked him about it, he said it was because I had been sad for the past month and he was feeling lonely, so he was wanting someone to talk to. He said that he had no intention of ever actually hooking up with her or meeting her, and that is why he stopped messaging her as soon as she got even slightly sexual. Regardless, I was still incredibly hurt and still consider that cheating, as he had reached out to someone who made a post specifically looking for sex. My question is, I miss him greatly. He is my very best friend, and I can't imagine going through life without him. Would it be worth it to try and get back together with him? I don't know if the once a cheater, always a cheater thing is true. Today, he showed up at my apartment and apologized profusely for about an hour. He was an absolute mess and seemed really genuine. I just don't know if he would just end up cheating or trying to cheat again. Comment. I mean, he was talking to other people via dating apps 3 months into the relationship. This recent thing isn't an isolated incident. It wasn't a mistake. He's an emotion cheater at the very least, and emotional affairs lead to physical affairs at some point. When someone shows you who they really are, believe it. I cheated on my first boyfriend and it took me several years to be able to trust myself again. The experience and the fact that I was capable of cheating traumatized me so much, I would never ever want to go through that again. It was so bad that my ex actually forgave me before I could forgive myself. So I guess it depends on the person. No, it would not. If he wanted it enough, he would fight for it. He was sad for a month and justified cheating? Honey, you need some codependency work. Get some counseling and find someone who can help you with that. You are thinking like a doormat. Stand up and move from this. He is not good for you at all. Something similar happened to me a few months ago, but once I found out he was messing with a girl online from a dating app, I left. You deserve so much better than a man who runs to women for validation because he's deeply insecure and wants his needs met. Please choose yourself. Recognize that a real man would never choose his needs over you and would try everything to make a relationship work with you. Next story 3. I have caught my BF cheating multiple times, but he says it is not. I have been with my boyfriend for about 5 years. We dated all throughout high school. While dating, I've noticed he would search up hometown females on Instagram, follow females that were not even close to us but in our age range. I expressed that this was weird to me because he was actively doing it. He stopped for a while, but I always had this gut feeling that I was not the only one. Fast forward to 2020, we were in good terms, never fought, but I noticed he was being distant. So one night when he left, I remembered he left his Gmail account open on my iPad. When I logged in, I found out he had been exchanging pictures with another female and had been FaceTiming about female, and she was getting dressed. I confronted him. I spent a while hating myself and I stopped trusting him. We worked on it and I would something start arguments because I felt I never got the closure to it. He did try to make it up and be a better partner. 2 years now, 2022, he was at a party in July with his friends and gave his number to a girl and talked for one day. I didn't find out now until 2023 because I created a habit of always logging into his things and looking to make sure he wasn't actively doing something. When I confronted him, he said it wasn't cheating, and I also messaged the girl. She said nothing happened, they talked a day normal. That has triggered me back to 2020, and now I get in these moods that I need to find him doing something, and he blames me and says I'm wrong for looking and I'm purposely trying to fight. 2023, I found out he was adding girls on SC and still had the one girl that he used to FaceTime. He removed her after I had a freak out. Last Thursday I sent him a TikTok and I noticed that when he viewed it, it was off another user. He had made a fake TikTok and was following the FaceTime girl along with another female. I kept my composure and told him to remove her. He told me he would delete the account and that he has not been active in it for 2 years. Yesterday the account was not deleted. I decided to log in and I found out he has been looking at his exes, FaceTime female, 2022 female, and 2 hometown girls. I am calm now but emotionally checked out. I think he is disgusting for going out of his way to keep a 10 on them. When I confronted him, he told me it was my fault that I was looking and I can never just sit still and trust him. I always need to find a way to argue every month. I don't think I'm wrong when he never tried to fix his trust, let alone lie to me all these years. AITA for constantly feeling the urge to look for something? Comment. NTA. Why not break up with him and find someone you trust? You're younger than my daughter. It's time to break up. A relationship isn't going to work if you don't trust him and he continuously lies to you. You described my entire 10-year marriage. I'm telling you. He's a narcissist, a cheater, and he will continue doing the same things over and over because you're staying. He's gaslighting you into staying with him. Don't waste any more of your time, or worse, get stuck with him by having his kids. Make your escape. He will never not cheat on you. I'm in my 2nd marriage now and sometimes I get a little jealous over my husband from my past trauma. Don't let it get so far that it ruins your next relationship. Wait, sorry, I might be misunderstanding. Was there any romantic or sexual exchange between him and these girls? I know he shared pictures, but were they explicit? Just trying to clarify. If he was just talking to these girls in a friend way, that's okay. It's weird, but not cheating. But if he was exchanging photos of himself and seeing these girls naked while dressing, yeah, it's cheating. Leave him though. Even if you haven't verified the above, he's not trustworthy. Why would he not be active on an account for 2 years yet be on that account to look at a TikTok? At this point, what is it going to take for you to leave him? Do you have to actually witness his penis going into someone else's vagina? Dude isn't loyal and there is no point in staying with him because he doesn't see anything wrong with it. He said you wouldn't have found anything had you just trusted him and not went snooping. You see how stupid that sounds?